My name is Nancy Goff. Today is Saturday, March 19th, 2016, and the 25th anniversary of National Quilting Day. I'm telling my quilt story from the International Quilt Study Center and Museum in Lincoln, Nebraska. My quilt is called the 15th Tessellation. In August of 2015, mathematicians Casey Mann and Jennifer McLeod and David Von der Rohe of the University of Washington, Bethel found the 15th form of the pentagon that can fill a space without the use of any other shape, which is called tiling or tessellation. The same day the news was released, my husband sent me the article at work and said, "This looks like a quilt. You should be the first to quilt this new design." I agreed, although I had only been quilting for 6 months at the time. I really enjoy puzzling out how things go together and found it to be great fun to figure out the quilt pattern. As you can see, all the pieces are the unique 5-sided shape, the pentagon, that was discovered that day. By using 3 colors, an interesting pattern emerges, one that reminds me of a macro photo of a knit fabric. The aqua and purple seem to be knit together, and when I added the orange border, all the orange pieces seemed to recede into the background. I was fascinated by this occurrence and planned to see if the same effect is caused or is created when I switch the colors around and place the aqua or the purple in place of the orange. I'll have a set of 3 of these tessellation quilts, but the other 2 are still in my UFO pile. To a quilter, this pattern may seem to be complicated. Many quilters fear the dreaded Y seam, and this quilt is filled with Y seams. But with well-starched fabrics, careful cutting, and a little practice, the seaming went along quite easily. What was more complex was the assembly. I was nearly done piecing the top before I figured out the most efficient way to piece it. Then I started to keep notes on what I was doing. I ended up writing my first quilt pattern, even though I had not yet ever made a quilt from a pattern. My first tester was very patient with my mistakes and shared some valuable tips on quilt pattern writing. The pattern has been revised and is now ready for the second testing. Working with this design has made me interested in tessellations. I intend to learn how to create original ones. So what is a tessellation exactly? If you can cover a flat surface using only identical copies of the same shape, leaving neither gaps nor overlaps, then that shape is said to tile the plane or tessellate. Every triangle can tessellate. Every 4-sided shape can also tessellate. Some non-regular pentagons, like this one, can. There are exactly 3 types of convex hexagons that tessellate. So clearly, quilters have been using these shapes and making tessellations in their quilts long before my 15th tessellation.